Shalom, my friends from here in the Holy Land. It's time for this month's Ask Yael. And I've realized that there's a lot of questions about the lost tribes. People are wondering what happened to the lost tribes. Are we ever going to find the ones that we haven't found yet? And so I was thinking that I wanted to go back a little bit to just tell you and explain a little bit about what the lost tribes mean when we speak about them. Who are they? Who were the tribes in the first place? And so it all begins with the story of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Yaakov, Jacob, he had 12 sons, and these are the tribes that we refer to. Now when we refer to the lost tribes, it's the sons of Jacob that, if you remember when he was on his deathbed, and he gave each of his sons a special blessing. And these are what turned into the tribes of Israel. And so they each were divided a different portion of land in the land of Israel when Israel was conquered, and they were living in the Holy Land. Each of them had a different portion of land, and each tribe, each one of Jacob's sons, held their own unique power, unique energy. And so they were all living in their land. They all had their own piece. They all had their own role to play. When it came up to the entire Jewish people during the times of the temple, it was all these different tribes that each had their own function in the land of Israel, their own unique God-given power, their own responsibility, their own service, and they all kept within this tribe. That's what they were. That's what they felt a responsibility to. That's who they lived with. That's the piece of land of Israel that they settled. And then Sancherib came, who wanted to disperse all of the tribes, to get rid of all of the Jewish people. And there were only two tribes that remained. And one of them was Judah. That's why today most of the Jewish people relate themselves back to the tribe of Judah. That's where we get the name Jews from. And so in English we say Judah, and we call the Jewish people Jews. Judah, Jews, it's very similar. And in Hebrew, Judah's name was Yehuda. And Jews in Hebrew are called Yehudim, that we come from the tribe of Judah. And so all the other tribes, except for these 2.5 tribes, were dispersed. They were sent out of Israel. They were lost, if you will. And so the Jewish people from today trace themselves mostly back to the tribe of Judah, or Levi. And we were told in biblical prophecy that this wasn't the end of this story. That Yaakov's sons, the 12 tribes of Israel, would never be lost forever. They would just be hidden for a certain amount of time. And we see in the biblical prophecy, Yesh tikva le'acharitecha v'shavu banim legvulam. There is hope for your future, said the Lord, and your children will return to their land. And so we know that even though they were dispersed, they maintained that faith. They maintained that Jewish identity, that faith in God. And then when they come back to Israel, once they're revealed, they'll all come back to Israel, and that will be the future of the Jewish people. When all the tribes are revealed, all the Jewish people are revealed, and they come back to the Holy Land, to the Promised Land, to the land of the Jewish people. And so far now we've seen a few tribes found in modern history, in my generation. The tribe of Dan from Ethiopia, the tribe of Manasseh from India, but there are many other tribes that haven't been proven yet. I know there's tribes in Africa, there's tribes all over the world that claim to be Jewish, to have ancestral heritage coming from one of these lost tribes, and they've maintained their Jewish faith throughout history, and now they're coming to be revealed. So there hasn't been any other tribes proven. We don't accept without questioning that any of these other people are from the lost tribes, except for from Dan and from Manasseh, which the fellowship helps to bring back to Israel, the ingathering of the people, the realization of biblical prophecy coming to fruition. And I personally believe, which might sound a little radical, that there are millions of Jews that we don't even know about. After all the Inquisition and persecution, there was a lot of hidden Jews, Jewish people that hid their faith. There was a lot of intermarriages. And so I think a lot of the people today, maybe you, have Jewish blood, have Jewish history, have Jewish heritage, and maybe that's why we're seeing so many Christians turn back to love Israel. So thank you for that love. I pray that we will all be united in prayer and biblical prophecy coming to fruition, and God bless you.